Hey guys, Jay, Travel by Jay. Here we are with this week's episode. And I believe we're in episode 23, maybe?
23, yes.
Something like that. And episode 23 of Between Departures. I am your host, Jay, with my beautiful wife, Soraya, our co-host here. She is here to,
hostess
of course,
with the mostest.
The hostess with the mostest, and make this a great podcast, or
You're make it great all on your own.
I can't do everything by myself, but you know what? Every pilot needs a co-pilot, and I'm a great navigator for you.
There you go. That's it.
All right. So, how was this week for you? How's this week been?
It was a rather busy week, but it was good, and sleeping in on the weekends is always a good thing. Guessing that's a reflection of how your week was?
A reflection of the weekend and today. That's okay. No complaints on my side,
Do not podcast and drink.
It's been a much busy week. But hey, so you know what? We're just kind of enjoying the day, getting ready. I guess later on, Secret Jig is up. We're going to be sitting here and watching the Super Bowl later on and seeing what's going on. And, she staked her claim to fame.
I did.
All right. No skin in the game, but hey.
No. I figure what we're putting some skin in the game. The Seahawks is owned by a woman, so why not? Root for the girls.
All right, girl power.
Girl power.
I just don't know how she figured it out, but that's okay. I don't ask any questions, right? I don't ask any questions.
A little bird told me.
A little birdie told you. I just show up and do my thing. It's all right.
There you go. That works for me.
Goodness gracious, I tell you. It's been a busy week. We've been preparing for. But a lot of people have actually been trying to get trips booked, so I've been busy. I'm not even going to lie. It's busy, but you know what? It's a good thing. I have no complaints about it.
Problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. You know what I mean? Because, everybody's thinking they're like, hey, it's time. I saw this ad. I saw this article.
Right.
So I want to.
Can you get it cheaper?
Can you get it cheaper? It's like, no,
you make it better?
You can't get anything cheaper than zero. That's what I tell people.
That's it.
But,
1,000%.
But I'm here to do this for folks, to help them out, to get them the best deal that I can. And, I think that kind of bring up a topic for me this week. I hear these people always saying, oh my God, I got this amazing deal. I saw it on, whether it was TikTok, I saw it on Instagram. Expedia, it was in big, bold letters. Greatest deal possible.
Right?
And
3 weeks transatlantic, 5-country trip for $250.
Absolutely. Right? And and
if you book it right now.
If you book it right now, you got 5 minutes to make that decision.
That's it.
Well, I always, like I told the client before, if somebody's pressuring you to do something like that, then there's always more to it. There's always a catch. And what most people don't realize is there's always a catch.
There's always a catch.
Because we know the old adage, if it's too good to be true, then more than likely it is.
It is.
How many times have you seen, I saw it all the time, a car deal. Oh my God, we got a brand new 2025 for $12,000. And you're like, really? So you run down to the dealership because you're in a need for a car.
Pull the car
You get there. That car is no longer available if it actually existed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So most of these companies use the old bait and switch. So that's something that we always hear from our clients. So I think
there is something to be said for comparing apples to apples. And I feel that this is really truly the reason why you use a travel agent like yourself, sir. Your job is to compare apples to apples. And making sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's crossed, and you are playing within the client's budget, so there are no surprises afterwards.
Yeah. And I get it, and it's an advertising, it's a marketing thing. Yeah. So, you know what? They set these prices and these ads to do what? To get your attention, to get you in the door.
Right.
However, these prices don't necessarily tell you the entire story.
Yeah.
Because if it told you the story, you're going to probably pass on the deal when you actually saw the bottom line. and that's the thing. Which is really sad, but they do it all the time with everything they're trying to sell on TV. Why do you think we got the ads are 30 seconds? You know what I mean? Because that's enough to get you, and they couldn't tell you all the fine prints. You hear them at the end, prices, and they have and it's scrolling so fast at the bottom, or they give you that 30-second, spiel in like 5 seconds, and they get a speed talker.
Sorry if you didn't get it.
Because technically they told you about it. You were the one that just couldn't decipher it.
That's it.
So, we have those issues that occur with our clients a lot of times where people just trying to, they're trying to plan and that entices them.
Travel industry, that is also a thing. People get offered great deals, and either the layovers are too long or too short, because there is such a thing, or the price doesn't include the luggage or whatever else they may have, or it doesn't include seats or the oxygen you have to breathe in the airline or in the airplane, and they charge you $25 per breath.
I mean, yeah. So let's break it down. Every industry has its own caveats. So when people go airlines, and she was pretty much talking about the airlines. So the airlines are really simple. Everybody's like, hey, we got this deal for you for $59 each way, right? So, however, that is the price of the ticket.
Oh.
But there are so many other things. It usually excludes your airport fees, your other taxes, and other stuff, which sometimes can be the same amount or double,
right?
Whatever that cost is, and it's basic. Because basic is just to get you in the door. Basic is, I promise you a seat on the plane. You know what that means, right? You're sitting in the middle. You're loading last. You have no carry-on space guaranteed to you. No overhead bin. And
basic means basic.
Basic means absolutely basic. No seat assignments, just to name a few things that are very important to our travelers.
Okay.
So, I mean, and it's funny because people book those seats and then they try to add stuff on later. They're non-refundable most of the time.
All right.
Can't change. If anything, it's like use it or lose it. So
that's it.
And so, life happens. And
or they charge you a changing fee.
Yeah.
Which is greater than usually.
Usually the changing fee is $175 to $300 to change a ticket.
Right.
And that's crazy. So those are things that people are getting involved in, and it's kind of like not a bait and switch, but they kind of lure you in. When it comes down to cruises, oh my God, you got this thing, $139 per passenger. Most of the time it'll be for an inside cabin at their choice.
Or if it's a balcony, it's an obstruction.
Yeah, obstructing view. But when you lean in there, but with the cost-wise, they normally don't include like port fees or taxes or whatever. And which, by the way, everybody gets a port fee and a tax. So even a minor or an infant, per body they charge you that. That is what goes to when you pull in these ports. Every person accountable pay that. So even if your kid says, even if it's like, hey, your kid's going to cruise free or your second passenger free, no one's excluded from paying the port fees and taxes. That is a must. That is a must for everybody. So don't be shocked when that occur because that is the case.
That is the case.
And then they're going to get you with gratuities for that person and everything. So it tends to add up, it's just crazy.
Yep.
Hotel rooms, just to name a few things. What about the resort fees that you may get? Oh my God, the room is, $99 for this
but
amazing
resort fee is $150.
I mean, they come up with these ungodly numbers, and everybody's found a way to kind of tax you. So what we try to get people to understand is what is the price versus the actual value that you're going to spend.
Right. And
so what I tend to do, and what you should do is, I'm speaking with you and I'm going through an itinerary that you want, and you'll come back, and this happens more often than not, and I don't even get offended on it, come back, well, I saw the same cruise for $500 less or whatever is less, and then I go through and I explain the process to them and explain what it is. Most people get it. Most people are like, okay, I understand. But some people still think that I'm just trying to rip you off. So when you get there and you pay all these additional things and it adds up,
you end up paying more.
You're spending way more, because not only my job is to get you the best deal, but the best value for what it's worth. If you're going to spend the money,
most bang for your buck.
And you walk through, and it includes all of these things that you may not think about yourself. Because I know that if I'm going on a vacation next week, there is nothing in the world that's going to stop me or prevent me from doing that. Nothing.
Not even me?
Not even you. Not even you. Nothing. Until that day comes. And God knows something comes up, whether it's a family emergency, whether it's a job issue, it gets sick. It could even be, hey, I thought I was going to have, X amount of dollars to go on this cruise, and I can't go. So what's my options?
No.
And I got news for you. No. Most of the time, day of travel, your option is 100% cancellation fees.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless
we can get you unless we've already gotten you that refundable cost.
Insurance.
We got you the travel insurance, and we got you those things that's going to ensure that you
are going to be going to be able to use that money at least on another trip.
Exactly. And then most of the cost is your insurance money, because that's what's most important.
What insurance is for.
But
that's what insurance is for. It's to make sure that you have coverage for those unexpected moments in life where things go bump in the night and you can't do what you wanted to do, but you still didn't want to lose all the investment that you put into that vacation money.
I look at people, and sometimes they're like, hey, I'm going to take care of my own airfare, because I got this amazing airfare that was from here to middle of Europe, and it's going to cost me $500. And I'm like, oh, round trip? They're like, yeah. But that's great. I mean, that's a great deal. Couple things to think about. Sometimes they give you that layover that's going to be 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Did you account for that? So if you're sitting there in the airport and you have a 24 hours or 12-hour layover, you're already tired from your initial flight,
right? Maybe
8 to 10 hours. What are you going to do? You're going to sit in the airport for half a day?
Better go get a hotel, which is incurring what? More money.
More money and more expensive that you may not even have thought about.
Yep.
Versus, paying a little bit more, ensuring that you have a reasonable connection.
Yeah. And I do see you making sure that when you are working for a client, you're giving them a reasonable connection so that they can meet the deadlines and the schedule that they need for their trip. Especially for those that are traveling to Europe and they're taking a cruise. again, my favorite are those clients who think that they can get there in the morning and go directly to the cruise port, and then something happens and their flights get delayed.
Or luggage get lost.
Or luggage gets lost.
Or delayed, yeah.
You know, it's there's something to be said for knowing how to plan and schedule every leg of your trip. And you take the time to do that. I see it every day.
And you know what? That $500 trip can turn into $1,200 really fast.
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
So are people prepared for that? Do they, when they look at a price, do they look at the actual elements of the trip? And
woo, you poured your week into this drink. Sweet Lord. I'm sorry, continue.
Wow. And yeah. Okay.
All right.
And
schedules.
You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we do the right things by everybody.
Yeah,
I
do
mean,
your due diligence.
Yeah.
And again, that takes a lot of time. So while you're in the middle of your own work week, you may not have the time to really look at all points. When you get a travel agent, it's your job to do that.
You know, and sadly enough, I've turned people away for business, and not necessarily a bad thing. Had a client reach out to us and said, "Hey, I got this deal to go on a cruise, and you know, we're looking into it. You know, me and my wife." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." I take a look at it, and I go apples for apples, pound for pound, and you know what? His deal was actually a legit deal, and the cost was similar to mine, but it was going to save him $300, right? And you know, and I'm like, I explained that to him, and he's like, "Well, hey, but I want to give you the business." I said, "My job is to get you the best deal, and make sure that it's a legit deal, whatever you get."
Does happen.
And I said, "You guys are going to buy a drink package and all this other stuff." Yes. I said, "Well, guess what? That $300 could could go towards one of those packages. So that means that you're saving money in essence." And you know what? And they actually came to me and thanked me.
Yeah, of course.
And they were like, most people wouldn't even told us that, and would have just told us, got our credit card, booked it, and let it been done.
You got to do what's right for the client.
Yeah. So I've turned money away in that sense, because I do believe in karma. I do believe that you do right by people, because guess what, folks? They're going to find out if you're full of stuff or not.
Right.
And if they do, I'm going to lose that trust. Plus, if they tell people what I did, I'm going to lose that trust and lose future clients I have no idea that I may even be getting.
Absolutely.
So doing the right thing is always doing it when somebody's not knowing that you're doing the right thing,
exactly.
Right?
It's right is right if no one is doing it, and wrong is wrong even if everyone is doing it. And again, at the end of the day, as you know, customer service people, we need to make sure that we can look ourselves in the eyes when we're brushing our teeth in the morning. That's the most important part, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what a true, honest travel advisor would do.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
don't take that, you got to make up your mind in 5 minutes, because that's not the case.
But sometimes, believe it or not, the cheapest trips often gives you the biggest headaches.
They do.
And stress you out the most.
They do.
Because you're thinking everything is great. And, you know, and we've tried to take advantage of some deals that come our way that, you know, that we did our due diligence.
Yeah.
But again, some of those you're kind of like, you know, maybe I should have paid a couple $100 more.
Right.
Or like, how many of you been somewhere and you're like, oh my God, I will pay double that right now to get that first deal.
Right.
And by then it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late. It's already gone. You're already in the midst of whatever you're doing. And, you know, and a lot of these things we're talking about, maybe mistakes that we've already made. We made ourselves.
Well, and the benefit to coming to you is that you can actually put a couple hour hold on a trip so they can check with their partner, check, times, blah, 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 and all this, and they can come back and say, okay, let's do it. The problem becomes when they want to take 2 or 3 weeks to make up their minds and still expect the rate to be the same. And that's usually what doesn't happen. So.
Absolutely. So every time we redo something, we re-quote it. If it's not on a hold,
brand new.
It's a brand new as of that day.
Yeah, that moment.
So remember all these vendors, whether airline tickets, all-inclusive resorts or cruises, no matter what, they change their availability and their prices based on the supply versus demand. Supply versus demand. Let's keep it simple.
It's economy 101.
And we have no control over that, and we have no say-so over that.
Absolutely not.
And that's something that, we try to encourage people to learn and just to kind of take, because we're not only in the planning your vacations or your getaways, or sometimes it may be even business travel, but we're trying to make sure that we also educate those with us that utilize us, because that's something you need to know.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you understand how the travel system works and how scheduling things work,
right.
you put the stress out, you lower the stress for yourself, and you also make it easy for me to communicate with you and understanding.
Of course.
Because I'll ask you a question right away, and I'm like, hey, okay, I asked all the pertinent questions: who, what, when, where, how, when do you want to book? But, out of the most important questions is like, when are you prepared to book? Because no matter what, time is money. My money is valuable time. Your time is valuable. You want to make sure that you're able to give that best service to the people in need and not waste our times, because, that's just not good. That's just not good, because time is valuable.
I mean, there is something to be said if somebody wants to be very upfront and says, I am just looking to price this.
Okay.
So then it's very different because you spend less time.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that generic cost.
Exactly, and that's it. But once you get into the point of actually getting into the nitty-gritty of planning a trip and several layers of the trip or several legs of the trip and whatnot, that does take a lot of time. I've seen you work 2 and 3 hours, and if not longer, on trips.
What airline? Do they have exit rows available?
Yeah.
All of those things takes time.
Yeah.
And I try to do my best to give it to you. But folks, you got to be reasonable with your expectations. You know what I mean? You're coming in, and eventually you want to test drive a car, and if they see you come in a couple times and you're not buying anything, we're not going to deal with you. That's their attitude.
Yeah.
That's their attitude. They're not going to deal with you. However, I still try to give something reasonable to you.
Right.
But that's where you can go out, and if you want to do your own research and figure out it should cost you about this much, that's fine. I mean, that's what you should. I encourage everybody to do.
Again, here's the thing. You have to make sure that you are, looking at apples to apples. It's like, you can't say that you're finding a trip $300, $400, $500, $800 cheaper if the layover is not the same, or if it's just a basic flight, or whatever it is. You have to look at all of the details of the trip and narrow down to that small imprint of the trip.
And I try to book trips the way we would book it for ourselves or our family or anything like that, because I want you to be able to cover yourself. CYA, cover your butt. That's what you want to do.
Cover your assets.
In the event that something does happen. Because if there is a no change, or or it's non-refundable, period, and there are no change on some flights, and they're all basic. And if you don't have it, have something in place that you can do that, it's going to cost you, and you're just going to miss out.
Brand new ticket. And therein lies.
And you're going to get upset. So I would discourage things like that in a sense.
Yeah.
For those simple reasons.
Yep.
Your money, unless you just got money to blow, or, you know, if something comes up, you got that money laying aside, you know. But we want to make sure that you're good.
Absolutely.
So
and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's saving time, saving money, saving expectations, and making sure that even when things, or if there were things to go bump in the night, you have a direct person to call, because you're going to answer the phone no matter what.
yeah.
And most places out there wouldn't necessarily, or, you know, it's not an investment for them. So it's like, it is what it is, and this is, you know, the final outcome, and forget it. And I know for a fact, because I've been there with you, we have tried to make phone calls for hours and hours to try and make sure that we make it right for a client.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day, that is the one true reason why you should be getting a travel advisor. And it's the fact that you have an advocate when anything goes wrong on your trip.
Yeah. I tell you like this, we don't chase the cheap deals.
No.
We try to get you a smart deal.
Mm-hmm.
And the smart deal sometimes costs you $200 more up front.
Yeah.
But when you don't, it could cost you $500 on the backside on a total cost, or
$1,000, or even more.
And that's what we don't want. We don't want you to do that, and we don't want to build a reputation like that. But getting a good travel advisor, you know, that is always what we're going to encourage.
Absolutely.
You know?
And again, you got that advocate.
Yeah. Most people don't buy houses without a realtor, right?
That is correct.
That's because you have somebody that you're going to trust, right? You're going to trust somebody and their, you know, their knowledge to be able to get you the home that you want and everything. And it's the same with us. We do that for your vacations.
They're investing in their dreams.
You are investing in your dreams. You're creating these memories. And that is what life is about, folks. You
enjoy
go out,
doing that.
Yeah.
Your whole entire outlook for a vacation is that you are getting the best deal, the most bang for your buck, and your only worry should be, when should I start packing? What should I pack? And make sure that you have enough memory on your iPhone so that you can take a whole bunch of pictures.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. So remember, 3 simple reasons why you use a concierge travel such as myself is A, we want you to dream it. Those are your 3 things you got to do. Dream it. Dream where you want to go, how it makes you feel, what do you want to see, and what do you want to
check
look
off
like.
that bucket list.
2, give us a call, and what we do is take care of the logistics for you. We put everything in place that you want. We take your dreams and we go your dreams to reality to your budget, and we're gonna line those things up to make sure that it's gonna be, you know, suffice for you. And third of all, we want you just to go and enjoy it.
That's it.
Once we've done that work, we want you to go and be stress free.
No, we want you to go into social media, post it, and tag us.
After you have your stress free. So, you know what? We appreciate you guys for listening to us.
Another week.
Another week.
Episode number 23.
23. So we're good. I don't know, but it sounded good for me.
Sure.
At least in my head before it came out, it was good, right? So with that in mind, guys, travel safe, travel often, travel by Jay.
Have a great rest of your week. Toodles.
Cheers.
Cheers.